Hey folks, Champesk here, bringing you another audio commentary. Today we're going to be covering an IEST game between Lynn and Grubby. And as you can see, this game's going to be on Echo Isle, so it's going to be obviously an orc mirror. Lynn here is the blue orc in the 2 o'clock position, and Grubby is the green orc in the sort of 10-11 o'clock position. And as you can see, both of them going for pretty standard openings at this point. By the looks of things, it looks like, yeah, they're both going for, obviously, first peon from your one of your 5 goes to your altar and the other 4 to gold, then your second peon to a burrow, and then your third to a barracks. And if you have the micro, then you should be microing your peons this whole time while you have 4 in the mine as well, just to sort of maximize your gold output at the same time. And we will be seeing Blade Masters from both sides at this point, and the reason I'm covering this game actually is because I just looked at the parser for a bunch of games from IEST, and this one looked like it had some interesting choices in it, and just because it's a bit sort of unusual. And Grubby actually having an inactive peon there for a second, but I guess he finally managed to get them required lumber for the second burrow, and getting your second burrow up quickly is really important, obviously, in Orc Mirror. And to do this, you often just bring back a whole bunch of peons when they don't have quite enough, when they don't have 10 lumber each, but together they can form more than 10 lumber, and that gets you up to your 40 lumber required for your second burrow, and that does just help you mine a bit quicker. And both of them actually, and Grubby actually scouting right now, and Lynn doing the exact same thing, and Grubby now bringing his peon down rather than back to his base, whereas Lynn is actually using his just to attack the Voodoo Lounge, I guess, just it's nice to get that bit of extra damage there. And you probably should bring his peon back quite soon, because obviously you just needed to scout to see whether Grubby was going down or just going across. And both sides, as you can see, just creeping up quickly. Lynn actually going for a Voodoo Lounge a bit outside his base, whereas Grubby's obviously gone for one inside his base. Not too much of a difference here. They're actually both quite close to each other as well. And Lynn picking up a Circlet of Nobility. It's probably the best item you can get. Actually, Claws, I guess, on a Blade Master is probably the best, but Circlet's really not bad, whereas Grubby getting a Ring of Protection is really bad. And obviously getting bad items at the start can often just it can just get worse and worse for you. And so item luck does unfortunately play a fairly large role in this matchup. And Grubby obviously turning up right as a shop complete, being able to sell his TP, I assume, and buy a couple salves and actually a speed scroll as well, and I'll probably sell up his Blade Master, and then maybe creep this camp here for the quick level 2. Meanwhile, Lynn's actually looks like I'm running around a bit. Grubby obviously has this peon here, and so he will know exactly what Lynn is doing. And it looks like Grubby's actually trying to cancel the salve with his peon. He does actually manage to do that, although Grubby will now lose his peon. He might manage to get into creeps, but no, it actually doesn't even get close. But Grubby is already now level 2. I'm not sure what tome he picked up, but certainly it's only a +1 tome, so it's not a big deal. Whereas Lynn is now going to be able to creep out this Ogre Magi. This will not only get him level 2, but also get him a pretty nice item. And it looks like Grubby's now moving in. Maybe he's actually using a speed scroll here. I think it's because he wants to get to the shop first, so he can buy his boots of speed before Lynn can. Obviously, he doesn't know where Lynn is anymore, so I think he just wanted to make sure he get there early, because obviously boots of speed in Orc Mirror is so important. And Lynn now salving up his hero and one of his grunts, but Grubby, and I'm now going to the shop, but Grubby's already bought the boots, I assume. Yeah, he has bought the boots, and actually he bought at the dust as well, and so Lynn's going to go there and not have anything to buy, which is sort of a bit of a waste of time for him. He might buy a Staff of Teleportation, I guess. Getting some very nice block here off on this grunt, and now the young Blade Master is chasing it down, and some grunts moving around the other side, so Loon would probably be best just to sacrifice to to the creeps. And Grubby does use Windwalk and does try and kill it, but doesn't manage to get the kill. But Grubby now moving in, and now looks like he's going to attack this Voodoo Lounge. Obviously an acceptable use of his time, because Lynn will definitely have to rebuild this. But the creeps being brought in, they will turn around fairly soon, I imagine, whereas Lynn, I think, making sort of fairly good use of his time as well, creeping out the 2 Berserkers, which obviously go down pretty quickly and give a decent amount of experience, and getting pretty close to level 3 now and managing to salve up, and he will now get away before that Ogre Mauler can get a hit. Meanwhile, Grubby has managed to kill this Voodoo Lounge, and will now run away, and we can just take a look at the techs. They're probably almost identical. Yeah, they are. Lynn's actually a couple seconds ahead, but certainly that's not going to be a game changer, I don't think. And Grubby now creeping out this Ogre Magi, but Lynn is now coming in, and Grubby getting a dust and getting a very lucky to actually just manages to catch Lynn in that in coming in there, and so Grubby now starts speeding down on Lynn's Blade Master, who does have to run away, but obviously it's a bit of a stalemate here, because really the Ogre Magi is at a health level where whoever does the first attack, the second attack will probably kill it, especially if you're in Windwalk form, so you really don't want to be the first person to attack here, and so they're both just going to sit here by the looks of things. Lynn with noticeably more experience than Grubby, actually, and if Lynn gets this kill, this will get him level 3, and obviously they both want to get both the experience but also the item, and Lynn now using a salve, and I guess that's because Grubby doesn't have enough mana. No, he doesn't have enough mana to cast another Windwalk, and Grubby does pop out of Windwalk now. He just times out, and Lynn will be able to get this kill and the item, which is pretty nice for him. But it is a greater mana potion, which is a pretty nice item for the Shadow Hunter, which I assume is going to be second hero. It almost always is. And Grubby manages to use his grunts very nicely there to cancel the Spirit Lodge, and Lynn having to rebuild in the back of his base. And meanwhile, Grubby looks like he might move on to the bestiary, but Lynn's Blade Master is back in, and Grubby will need to get out of here quickly because obviously the Shadow Hunter will be in here soon. And level 1 Hex is really quite strong, and Shadow Hunter is almost out soon. I assume Grubby's going for the exact same thing. Yeah, he is. His Shadow Hunter's a bit later, but certainly it's not the end of the world. And now Grubby's running down. Looks like he's gonna maybe creep out this camp here. Obviously, this can be quite a nice camp if you can get a tome of experience from it, but otherwise it generally doesn't give that much experience, and just sort of any other tome really isn't really very effective. And Grubby now running and picking up another dust. I think that was what Lynn was going for as well, because he's actually he has now bought a boots, but no dust for him. And Lynn actually missing this creeping way, or maybe he's just running away so he won't get dusted, but he's run a bit too far, and so it looks like Grubby will manage to get this creep, and that's going to be very nice for him, because obviously this is a you get a pretty nice item from this as a charged item, and you actually replenishment potion. That's probably the worst item we could have got. But meanwhile, Shadow Hunters are now coming in for both Grubby and Lynn, and you often see as soon as the Shadow Hunter comes out a bit of a skirmish between the two heroes, because obviously that Shadow Hunter can be really easily focused down, and that's why Grubby's actually bought a potion of healing on him, because he just really doesn't want to lose his Shadow Hunter early on, because obviously getting experience on it is just so critical. And meanwhile, Lynn has now scouted this creeping, and actually managed to steal one creep as well. And Shadow Hunter for Grubby immediately gets hexed, now focused down. You can see exactly as I said, it's really important. And Grubby does pop his healing potion quite early, actually, just to be on the safe side, I guess. And meanwhile, Grubby is now focusing down Lynn Shadow Hunter, both of them on 0 experience. Oh no, sorry, Grubby's on a bit of experience because he did some creeping, but Lynn managing to use his running Shadow Hunter to hex Grubby's, and that allows Lynn to take down the Shadow Hunter. And meanwhile, Grubby just distracting Lynn with his hero now while Shrunts run away. And actually one of them might get ensnared here. Yes, this is very bad for Grubby. And then running in, and now we'll be able to probably get this kill here, and there's not really much Grubby can do about this. And meanwhile, I don't think none of the other grunts were ensnared, but the ensnare has run out, but I don't think Grubby will manage to get it away, but he might manage to let the creeps kill it if he's lucky. No, it doesn't look like he did, and bit of a shame there for, actually no, he did, sorry, yeah, sorry, that was a trapper that killed it. That's pretty lucky for him, really. And Grubby using Windwalk here. He doesn't have enough mana for another Windwalk, so we will need to be careful. And it's only level 1 Windwalk, but he is using his replenishment potion, so he might have a bit more mana in a second. But I think Lynn is just sort of trying to wake him out at this point, because level 1 Windwalk doesn't actually last that long. Actually, Lynn leaving that Ogre Magi eye alone, and that's going to allow Grubby to get the kill and to get the item as well, and we'll be able to run away now. And the Shadow Hunter is now back. Obviously, level 1's back really quickly, and obviously Raiders being hexed, Grubby's Raiders being hacked. Obviously you just need to get rid of those Raiders as soon as possible, because if you ever do need to run away, it can cause serious trouble, and you can lose so many units if you haven't focused down the Raiders first. And Grubby now taking a lot of damage on this one grunt, and it looks like it will go down to a critical strike from the Blade Master. And meanwhile, Lynn running one of his grunts away, and Grubby actually bringing that injured Raider back just to get an ensnare and probably a kill on it. Yeah, he will get the kill there. And Grubby's Blade Master down to half health. Has plenty of mana though. He's enough mana for 2 Windwalks, and has hexed Lynn's Raider, and looks like he will try and focus it down. Obviously grunts will do a lot of extra damage to that, but Grubby's Blade Master now getting hexed. Obviously that's going to vastly reduce his Grubby's damage output from his army, but he does manage to take down that Raider nonetheless. And just really Spirit Walkers left for both sides here. Lynn uses Ethereal Form, but I imagine he'll manage to get the block and kill with, yeah, he does get the kill with his Spirit Walkers. And Grubby now using Ethereal Form, but I imagine Lynn will get the kill. So, oh no, he's forced to use Ethereal Form on his other Spirit Walker. So that looks like Grubby will actually manage to get away 2 Spirit Walkers there. It's a bit of a nice turnaround, and obviously he can salve them up quite quickly, because he knows the Blade Master can't just come back in and cancel the salves whilst they're in Ethereal Form. And Grubby now with his Windwalk Blade Master will be running back probably to the shop to see what he can buy, but looks like Lynn's there already, and it might be a bit of a spamming battle here. And Lynn does manage to get the dust, and Grubby managed to get the heal scroll, so it's probably better for Grubby in this point, because obviously heal scroll is so good in conjunction with Spirit Link. And Grubby now running back in with 2 Raiders and 3 Spirit Walkers, no grunts actually, but I think grunts are actually important in Orc Tier 2 battles, just because they're so good against Raiders, and especially when you can ensnare Raiders and then focus them down with grunts, and also they can tank a lot of damage with Spirit Link on them, and Lynn going for his War Mill now. Obviously he wants a Kodo, and Grubby isn't building a Spirit Lodge, or a War Mill yet, but it probably will in a second, because obviously Kodos are so important, and often it's best to get the Kodo for when you're at 46 food, just to bring you up to 50. And Grubby now 4 food behind, 39 to 43 food, but he is doing some pretty aggressive creeping here, and provided he doesn't get jacked, this will get a Shadow Hunter to 2, and maybe his Blade Master. No, his Blade Master is already 3. I'm not sure why he's creeping that up. I would just be harassing with my Blade Master at this point, but I guess Grubby has his reasons. And Grubby with actually some pretty nice items, getting a Pendant of Mana there, or Pendant of Energy, sorry, and that's going to allow him to cast a lot more hexes and a lot more healing waves, and that's going to be pretty important. Grubby actually with 1 idle grunt here. Maybe it's supposed to be scouting, but I think it's just Grubby not paying too much attention. And one War Mill now going up for Grubby a bit later than Lynn's, but not too much later, and that will mean that Lynn will probably be producing a Kodo Beast now. Yeah, obviously that aura is just so effective, and then Lynn doing a bit, so as you can see, creeping a bit of less aggressively here. That's because he has his Blade Master. He had his Blade Master, I guess, attacking this